10 knowledge areas. These are the 10 knowledge areas that we'll be discussing throughout this course. The numbering system is based upon the chapter in the PMBOK that we find these different knowledge areas. Within the PMBOK, there's a lot of information about each knowledge area. In the beginning of each chapter, we can see key concepts, which is information that is vital to know in order to understand the knowledge area. We can also see trends and emerging practices. It's where they're talking about new and improved approaches that can impact projects and their ability to successfully deliver. Tailoring considerations, since projects are unique, we can go ahead and modify these knowledge areas in certain ways. And finally, considerations for agile and adaptive environments. So we talked about using agile and adaptive life cycles. This is where some additional attention can be given based upon operating in an adaptive or agile environment. As you read the PMBOK, make sure that you review each of these items prior to sitting for the exam. Project fundamentals and framework, learning assessment. How do we distinguish projects versus operations and programs versus portfolios? Projects are temporary, while operations are repetitive and ongoing. Programs are a group of related projects managed in a coordinated way, while portfolios are a collection of sub-portfolios, programs, sub-programs, projects, and operations that are managed to meet strategic business objectives. What are some EEFs and OPAs that may impact a project? Enterprise environmental factors could include marketplace conditions, organizational culture and structure, industry standards, political climate, while organizational process assets, and these are made up of two main categories here. So we have processes and procedures, which could include standards, policies, work instructions, templates, and change control procedures, or organizational knowledge repositories. These are project files, historical information, configuration management knowledge bases, and financial databases. Give an example of a project phase. We saw 4 examples earlier, and that was the feasibility, development, construction, and deployment. Give an example of positive and negative stakeholders. Business leaders that can see an economic benefit from an industrial expansion project could be positive stakeholders, while homeowners near that expansion project may lose their property or their property values may go down, which would make them a negative stakeholder. What does net present value tell us and how do we calculate it? Net present value is the sum of a series of discounted cash flows minus the initial investment. So it's calculated as the sum of all of the cash flows divided by 1 plus I to the power of n minus the initial cost. What are the pros and cons of the various organizational structures? In a functional organization, the team member has a job that they can go back to when the project is over, but the project manager may not have the full skill set to run and coordinate the project in an efficient manner. In a project-oriented organization, the project manager has a very high level of authority, but the downside is the team members may be on the bench or have no work when the project ends. In the matrix organizations, the project manager has a higher level of skill, but they're still sharing resources. And this could lead to conflict between the project manager and functional manager.